Hey guys, Tomboy601, and today we have a review of the Molotov. Recently got this in one of the Super Santa containers, and I know when Molotov came out, we didn't have things like arm review, so I figured I'd make a review of the Molotov. Now that we have arm review, we can kind of take a look at that, do all the fun things, and also because I just got the ship, and you may be interested in if you want to purchase the Molotov. Spoiler, I wouldn't, but let's go ahead, dive on in. As always, we're going to go ahead and lead off with the commander. I am running the wonderful Aiden Be Delightful, though you could also run Kutuzov, but Lightful is my go-to with inspirations of Von Essen and Mikawa. His base trait is Phantom Bane. It reduces the duration of increased detectability after you fire, and then it also decreases your reload time. Both excellent little perks. Then we have Beyond Range, Intuitive, Punch Through, Fear My Roar, and then Fully Packed. All excellent little choices. Like I said, the other one you could absolutely run is going to be Kuznetsov. He's pretty much the same thing, except his base trait's going to increase the range, and he doesn't have the Steer Clear perk, but I've been liking Ivan on the Molotov so far. As far as the mod slots go, well, we can run in the first slot. I'm running Aiming System Mod 1. You could maybe go with Main Battery Mod 2 just to help with the rotation, the turret rotation, but I really wouldn't recommend it. The other, and then in the next slot, in Mod Slot 2, we are running Steering Gears Mod 2. You could probably also run Propulsion Mod, but given the ranges that you're going to be playing at, I think the Steering Gears is going to be your way to go. Finally, let's go over the consumables of the vessel. We have the base damage control party, 5-second duration with a reload time of 60 seconds. Then you have sonar or enhanced AA. I run the sonar because that's eminently more useful than increasing the damage output of your AA. Detection on torpedoes on it, 2.8 kilometers. Detectability of ships, 4 kilometers. It's going to last you 94.8 seconds. You're going to have a reload time of 180 seconds, and you're going to get 3 charges. And then finally, we do also have the catapult fighter. Uptime of 100 seconds, going to reload in 80 seconds, and you're going to have 4 of those planes ready to go. So those are all of the kind of base traits of the Molotov. Now let's go ahead and get into the stats. Molotov is going to have a base HP of 28,400 with an armor thickness between 10 and 150 millimeters. Let's go ahead and take a look at that armor. As we can see, it is a fairly interesting layout. Bow armor is going to be 13 millimeters, with the deck armor on the bow and stern also being 13 millimeters, and then the deck armor in the center of the ship is going to be 16 millimeters. Then if we look at that citadel, well, it's above the waterline and stretches pretty much the entire length of the vessel from front turret to rear turret. So very large citadel, a very exposed citadel, and one that you absolutely need to keep an eye on, or else you will get absolutely slapped in this ship. Main battery of the vessel, 3 3-barreled 180 millimeter guns with a firing range of 16.2. This is one of the few stats that beats out the Gorky. If you didn't know, Gorky and Molotov, pretty much the same ship, has an extra 0.1 kilometer of range over Gorky. Yeah, real big change here for a premium. 16.2 kilometer range. Reload time is going to be 12.3 seconds, giving you a shells per minute of 44. 180 time on those guns, 22.5 seconds, with a damage of 2,500 when firing AP, giving you a DPM of 110,000. Chance of fire is going to be 13%. AP damage, 4,620, giving you a DPM of 203,280. Secondary battery, well, 6 1-barreled 100 millimeter guns with a firing range of 4.7 kilometers and a reload time of 4 seconds. Gorky at 3.8, this one at 4, so slightly longer reload time on those secondaries. Damage 1,400 with a 6% chance to set fire. Torpedoes, 2 3-barreled 533 millimeters with a reload time of 7 70 seconds. Damage 14,400, which is a little bit more than Gorky. Detectability range 1.3 kilometers with a torp speed of 65 knots as opposed to the Gorky's 63, and an extra 0.1 kilometer of range. Woo! This ship is so different and worth making. I know. AA range 3.2 kilometers with a minimum damage of 68 and a max of 98. Max speed of the vessel 36 knots with a turning radius of 860 millimeters and a rudder shift time of 6.3 seconds. Concealment detectability by sea is going to be 12.5 kilometers, detectability by air 7.9 kilometers, and detectability in smoke is going to be 7 kilometers. And that's all of the stats of the vessel. Let's just go ahead and dive on into a game in it, and I can kind of give my opinions on it. Honestly, this is one of the wargaming money grab ships. And I don't mean to say that to be mean, I just mean to say that to tell you the truth. Oftentimes what wargaming will do is when they have a split line already kind of established, especially in World of Warships PC, but they aren't quite ready to bring that ship to the game, they'll release a singular ship from that line and call it a premium, and that's kind of what Molotov represents. It is nearly the spitting image of the Gorky, right? Only 3 stats were different. Base range by 0.1 kilometers, the secondary reload time by 5 of a second, and the torpedoes by 2 knots in the water and a little bit of range. Like, overall, I think we can agree these are very, very similar ships. Therefore, you play them very, very similar. But overall, that means, Molotov was there to be like, hey, this is what the Russian heavy cruisers are going to play like. If you want to spend your money to get it, go ahead and do that now. Well, now that the Russian heavy cruisers are actually implemented in game, is there a point to the Molotov? No, there isn't. Yes, it has a cooler camo. Hey, look, there's Gorky right there. It pops up. We can see just how well you can slap each other. Thankfully, I think we overpenned each other right here. We continue to turn out. We don't have the torp angles, but he's going to continue to turn in. Hold, because we see that he's turning. We want to get that beautiful citadel. Remember, we can just need to hit near the waterline, anywhere between the 2 turrets. We do just that, and we slap him for nearly all of his health. And that just shows you how vulnerable these ships are. Anyways, back to my other rant. This ship doesn't really serve a purpose anymore. It's a pretty paint shopped Gorky that gets the premium bonus. If you absolutely love the Gorky, I think then maybe this is the ship to go out and buy. But on a should you spend your hard-earned money on it? Probably not, guys. Especially right now. It no longer represents a new class of ship that will like one day be coming to the game. It's implemented, and it's a tier 5 cruiser, and it plays just like its Tech Tree sister ship. So that's my little rant. Like, it's cool. I for one, I really enjoy the green kind of camo that is on all of the Russian premium cruisers. I think they look absolutely beautiful with that camouflage, and I do absolutely love them. But that is not a reason to go out and actually, purchase the ship. Anyways, we took out that Gorky. Fubuki pops up and like, well, HE isn't exactly our strong suit, but it's going to be our strong suit if we can go ahead and hit this Fubuki, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to try to start thinning him out. We do take a good chunk, nearly half of his health there, and we do need to kind of just be careful with that battleship in the backfield. We don't want to get hit because it can absolutely slap us back. We saw how cruiser shells do against a Molotov. You can only imagine what a Gorky does. Fubuki, realizing he's a bit overextended, decides to pop his smoke. We have a couple of shells, and sadly our teammate gets that kill right there. I feel like we would have gotten it, but just the rear turrets didn't snap in quite as quick. So we've kind of neutralized the threat on this end. We're going to start kind of sailing in so that we can start providing more fire on either of those battleships. We've kind of taken out the biggest threats of the ships. Also, if we can get in line with this smoke, we may be able to use the smoke to cover us when engaging up against that Bayern. And if we can fire from smoke, we're not really we're not taking any bigger, more personal risk while engaging the Bayern. Mind you, we are at range with a German battleship, so we have a little bit of protection in the way of the dispersion gods, but we still don't want to risk just being all and out destroyed. Brittany pushing into the center of the ship, or the center of the map near B, and we're going to go ahead, turn on out, try to get a turn established here and start leading it away. You don't really want to charge in headfirst with these Russian cruisers just because they don't have the armor to really stand up against much. So you want to kind of be more proactive, understand that you want to keep everything at as far away as possible, and the second you see guns starting to point at you, you want to move, you want to disengage, you want to reposition. Of course, one of the downsides of these ships is they have massive detectability ranges, so that means you're constantly kind of feathering the throttle, trying to keep them on those outer ranges. But HE doing surprisingly well. Usually you'd want to be firing AP, but we don't have any broadsides to shoot at, so the HE will just have to do for now. We do get a fire done down on the Brittany. Sadly, it does repair. And we're just kind of keeping an eye out and looking out, kind of trying to see where we can support. And that is the struggle of the Molotov, just because you can't stand up to battleships. You kind of have to keep them at range, pray they don't hit you. You're really good against cruisers or anything else that's showing broadside, but as far as the position we're in right now, for us, it's just a matter of defense. And really, that's all we need to do, is just kind of defend. We have 2 of the capture points. Our overloaded side is about to reach out to their give me spawn. So we've done our work, but now we have a more important mission. There has been a Fubuki spotted out by our carrier. We need to go and chase him down. Sadly, that Fubuki does end up taking out our carrier. And now it's time to hunt down this destroyer who is in our backlines. Of course, he could be a somewhat threat to our team. Not that he may turn the tide, but having someone so far in the backlines, especially where back behind where our team has overloaded, means he could probably easily get into, say, this cap right here if we don't go chasing after him and start gaining some points, and we don't want that. Now, this is where that wonderful new trait Intuitive comes in, or not new trait, but this is where Intuitive comes into effect for us, and why I love running Intuitive. Being able to hunt down this destroyer is so much easier when you know exactly where, or at least has an idea of where he is located. Should you be using it? Maybe not. It's a bit of a crutch skill. Like you should probably play the game without it for a while, just so you know and understand the kind of flow. But for me, in this situation right now, it does help us a ton, because personally, I would not have known if he was going to go wide at back where that carrier was and try to slip into D, or if he's doing what he's doing right near here and making way for the cover of islands. So having Intuitive right here is coming in very much clutch. We do need to be kind of on the lookout for torpedoes. I don't think he used torpedoes to take out that Ranger, or maybe that was the opening shots and the Ranger was left with just enough for him to use his guns, but I'm pretty sure he used his guns to take out the Ranger. So either his torpedoes are on cooldown, or they should be about ready to go. So we're going to go ahead, pop both our sonar and our fighter plane, try to get a little bit of spotting over it. Because of the densely packed islands here, we know that that spotter plane can come in handy, and it's doing just that right now, because that Fubuki not in range of our sonar. It's not like we have German sonar. So he pops up right there. We will continue around this island. We have our HE loaded, our second Fubuki target of the day, and let's just go ahead and finish him off right here. First salvo out, take a good chunk off of him, disable both his engine and one of his torpedo launchers. Hopefully that resets it down on cooldown. We're going to go ahead. We still have 45 seconds with our sonar, so we have plenty of time to go ahead and push in. He goes ahead, hits the island. We go ahead, take another salvo here. Our secondaries start going off. Our rear turret needs to swing around, and we just kind of want to keep him on our bow. We don't want to give him the ability to turn around and fire torps at us. We'll leave him with just a little bit more health. He fires, and someone else knocks him out, and that ends the game. We do 61,000 damage, end up at the top of the team. Sadly, no kills, but hey, it was a decent game all around. And that's the Molotov, guys. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of it. I think now that the Gorky is out, it might need a rework just so that it has a unique set of stats. Maybe make it a fire, like a HE fire burner. I don't know. Give it a higher fire chance because it's a Molotov, damn it. Play with the words. Anyways, guys, if you like the video, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya.